The Army Painter is now the official paints for Infinity, the game. Infinity is Corvus Belli's premier tabletop wargame featuring a unique science fiction setting where the fate of humanity is on the brink of war of a galactic scale. But covert ops orchestrate combat operations to tip the scales of the battlefront. The Infinity universe features some of the most beautifully and detailed miniatures ever created, and we wear the title of Official Paints of Infinity as a badge of honor. We teamed up with Corvus Belli to develop faction sets. The first two in the range are the PanOceania and JSA sets, which each feature an exclusive free miniature and unique paints designed in collaboration with the artists at Corvus Belli and the Army Painter. They sent the studio some minis and the essentials range for us to play with at our home office. And after setting up the terrain in the set and reading the rules, we were excited to start painting some minis from the expansive range in support of our new partnership. Today, one of our studio painters, Steffen, is going to show you a simple way to paint the PanOceania Fusilier Paramedic from the set with the paints found inside. Take it away, Steffen.
Hi, I'm Steffen. I'm one of the studio painters here at the Army Painter. I've already painted the miniatures from the Essentials box, and today I will paint the exclusive miniature found in the PanOceania Paint Set, the Paramedic. The miniature has been primed in black and then with a Senator white primer, and the first color I will be using on it is the speed paint in the set, the Hyperpower Blue.
Speed paints are so easy to use, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of painting. Simply apply your paint inside the lines, and yes, I'm using air quotes, of where you want this color to be, and let the paint do the work for you as the deeper pigments settle in the shadows and recesses, leaving instant color and a simple highlight on the raised edges. Pano Blue is an exclusive color to the Infinity range, meaning that it doesn't have a match from our core war paints or speed paint ranges. This beautiful cyan blue was developed alongside the talented artists at Corvus Belli to accurately reflect the Pano aesthetic. It makes the perfect highlight over our speed paint Hyperpower Blue base color. You'll use this to simply highlight and detail the raised edges and highlights across the blue armor, which is the majority of this miniature. Using a Wargamer detail brush for the extreme details will offer you the control and precision you want for these steps. Next, go ahead and mix in some matte white to create a subtle refined highlight color for the most extreme details. Be as neat as you can here when you apply this to the most raised edges across this very detailed miniature. Now with Spec Ops Brown, we'll begin base coating the bags and trousers on this medic. The acrylic colors in this range feature the same high-performance Fanatic formulation, which offers the best coverage in the industry, making them easy to use for beginners and advanced painters alike. Now you could use a Fanatic wash here, and we might use one a bit later on in this tutorial, but since we're keeping to the colors in the set right now, we'll mix in some matte black with our Spec Ops Brown and thin with water to apply a shade to the details on all of the brown bits. Once dry, mix in some more matte white into the brown to apply a simple highlight to the pouches, and use Ultramarine Tan for the trousers. Once again, the Wargamer detail brush is perfect for this step. Go ahead and mix in some more white into that tan for a final refined highlight. You're going to want to grab some Warpaint Stabilizer. This specially designed thinning medium allows you to thin your highly pigmented Fanatic paints to extreme levels while retaining even pigment dispersion. Mix this in with matte black to create a glaze to quickly paint over straps and as a base tone for the non-metallic metals on the miniature. Next with Australia Green, a dark bluish green, begin highlighting the black, mostly relying on the edge of the brush to apply an edge highlight, but in some areas you'll need to trace your highlights carefully with the point of the brush. Thinning your paints with clean water or stabilizer will add even more control. We'll mix in a bit of matte white to apply one final highlight to the black and non-metallic metals. Moving on to the skin, we'll use Varuna Tan Skin to base coat the medic's face. And then we'll mix in some neutral flesh from the set for your first highlight, focusing this on the nose, cheeks, and brow. Finally, apply a refined highlight of neutral flesh before mixing in a bit of white for that final highlight to finish off your base tones for the skin. You can thin some more of that Spec Ops Brown and apply a shadow glaze under the cheeks and into the sockets of the eyes for additional depth and contrast. You can use this as a wash over the beard, hair, and eyebrows as well. Wait, a wargaming miniature with eyebrows? It can't be. I mean, I know Infinity miniatures are true scale, but eyebrows too, now that's detail. All kidding aside, we'll mix in a bit of black to that glaze mix to deepen the shading. Then with our brown and white mix, we'll apply a simple highlight, just picking out the details on the facial hair of this medic. Glory Glow is a match to Power Node Glow from the Fanatic effects range, and mixing this in with your Varuna Tan skin tone will give you a realistic and punchy final shade to add some life to the skin. Closing off the final details of the miniature, we'll use matte white and apply a base coat / slight highlight to the scarf and a base coat to the nodes that are found all around the miniature. White paints benefit from a bit of thinning, and I always recommend applying a second thin coat for smooth coverage. Next, grab plain Glory Glow, which in essence is a fluorescent speed paint, and apply this over the nodes and around them for a very simple OSL or object source lighting effect. You can go back and tidy up the highlights on the glowing bits with a bit of matte white. Now from here on out, we're just applying simple highlights to the details around the miniatures. These steps are completely optional if you're looking to get back to your Infinity Essentials game quick, but if you'd like to go that extra mile, just keep your eyes peeled here. Go ahead and base your mini to fit the rest of your army. If it's your first PanOceania force and you're following along at home, you'll just apply a base coat of Spec Ops Brown. Then we'll pull from our core range with a wash of Warpaint's Fanatic Strong Tone to re-establish the details and add some depth to the textures on the base. Once your shade has had time to dry, grab some of your Ultramarine Tan and a dry brush. We're using a hobby dry brush here to simply highlight the details on the base. Once you're done, paint the rim of your base and apply your favorite battlefield's tufts if you feel called to, and your medic is ready to save the day at some remote battle somewhere secret in the human sphere. We're really excited for what's in store from the Corvus, Belli, and the Army Painter Alliance. Be sure to like and subscribe for future Infinity content and more from the Army Painter. You can order your Infinity PanOceania Paint Set from our friends at Corvus Belli or at thearmypainter.com. The future of Infinity is now.